প্রিয় দর্শক, আসসালামু আলাইকুম। কোর ভিশন ফাউন্ডেশনের আয়োজন ভিশন ফর সাকসেসে স্বাগতম। দর্শক, জীবনের প্রতিটি ক্ষেত্রে আমরা সবাই চাই সফলতা, কিন্তু সফলতার সংজ্ঞা কি? এর মাপকাঠি কি? সম্পদ, নাম, যশ, ক্ষমতা, এর নাম কি সফলতা? সফলতার জন্য কি অপরিহার্য? সফলতার কোনো শর্টকাট পথ আছে কি? এসব প্রশ্নের উত্তর খুঁজতেই কোর ভিশন ফাউন্ডেশনের উদ্যোক্তা উন্নয়ন কার্যক্রম ভিশন ফর সাকসেস। আমাদের আজকের আলোচনা ক্যারেক্টারিস্টিক্স অফ সাকসেসফুল বিলিভার্স। আসুন কোরআন ও সুন্নাহর আলোকে জেনে নেই। আমাদের আজকের অতিথি ইমাম শামসী আলী, ডিরেক্টর জামাইকা মুসলিম সেন্টার। আসসালামু আলাইকুম।
Assalam
How are you, brother?
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.
So, what is the characteristics of successful believers?
First of all, I would like to emphasize again that Iman or faith means success. And these two words must be identical. So when I say I'm a believer, I have to believe and have confidence that I'm successful. Because by believing itself is a success. And so there is no reason to say that we are not successful simply because possibly we are not rich yet. Of course we have to be rich, but we must, number one, psychologically, mentally confident that we are a successful people, because that's what the Holy Quran says. So Surah Al-Mu'minun, Surah number 23 of the Holy Quran, number ayah and so on and on, explains about the characteristics of the believers who happen to be considered successful believers. So it says in the beginning, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, قَدْ أَفْلَحَ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ. Successful indeed the believers are. Means the believers are surely successful people. And that itself is an emphasis that believers is a successful people. And as I mentioned in some other episodes, that the Holy Quran as a whole talks about success. If we believe that the Holy Quran is our guidance, that we have to believe that at the end of the day we must be successful. And so the Holy Quran says here, قَدْ أَفْلَحَ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ. I would like first of all to explain how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described the success of the believer in the Holy Quran. Qad is in Arabic language, grammatically speaking, is a sign that it is sure. When there is a word qadr followed by fi'l madi, past tense, it means surely. There is no doubt about that. You must not be doubtful that you are going to be successful. Qad aflaha al-mu'minun, the believers are. But the second one that I'd like to mention also, that success in Islam is not only individual, but also collective in nature. That's why muflihun is a plural. It's not muflih. Muflih is one person. When Allah says قَدْ أَفْلَحَ الْمُفْلِحِ, it means only one person who is successful. But when it says قَدْ أَفْلَحَ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ, successful indeed are the believers. It means collective. It means that Muslims are required to be collectively successful. Okay, and that's why this ummah must be the khair ummah. This ummah must be the best ummah, because we are the successful nation. But the thing that we're going to discuss now is, what are the characteristics of these successful believers? The first one that Allah mentioned is الَّذِينَ هُمْ فِي صَلَاتِهِمْ خَاشِعُونَ. As I mentioned in some other episodes, that our salat basically is the pillar of the religion. There is a hadith of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, الصلاة عماد الدين. Prayer is the pillar of the deen, of the religion. So when salat is first mentioned as the main characteristics of the successful believer, it is because it is the pillar of the religion. Nothing else can be successful in terms of religion, in terms of being a Muslim, without being successful in our salat. So what is the successful salat? Allah mentioned the criterion. And that characteristic of salat is الَّذِينَ هُمْ فِي صَلَاتِهِمْ خَاشِعُونَ. Those who have khushu', humbleness. They have a full concentration in their prayer. The problem is that how to have that full concentration. How to have khushu' in our salat. It is easy to say, difficult to do. And let me just mention this to our audience, to our viewers, that possibly none of us can do that 100%. In the time of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there is a very funny story, a joke basically, but it's true story happens. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam once, he tested his Sahaba, his companions. he said to them, is any of you can achieve 100% khushu in the salat? No Sahaba raised hand, except one, a relative younger Sahaba. He raised his hand, and that is Ali. Ali radiallahu anhu. He was the cousin of the Prophet, and he was the son-in-law of the Prophet. So he raised his hand and said, I can do that, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I can have khushu 100%. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam told him that you cannot, Ali. No one can do it. But he said, no, I can do it. So Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said to him, if you can do it, I will give you my turban. It's Arab people that has turban. I give you my turban. So Ali was so excited. He was so happy because he's going to have the Prophet turban. It's an honor. Certainly it's an honor to have the Prophet turban. So then he began his salah. He raised his hand, Allahu Akbar. He said Al-Fatiha. And then he finished 2 rak'ah. He sat down. He said Tahiyyat. Before salam, what he remembered? He remembers the turban. So he said, Assalamu alaikum, Assalamu alaikum. The Prophet asked him, did you have 100% khushu? He was laughing and he said, Ya Prophet of Allah, I almost had 100% khushu. Except that before saying my salam, I remember the turban that you are going to give me your turban. So Prophet Muhammad was laughing and said, it means nobody can do it. So it means to have khushu in salah is so difficult. And that's why the Holy Quran says, وَإِنَّهَا لَكَبِيرَةٌ إِلَّا عَلَى الْخَاشِعِينَ. To have khushu in the salah is so kabir, so big, so huge. It's not easy thing to do it. But we must struggle to do it. We must train ourselves to do it. So how to do that? Of course, number one, we have to train it. I have seen some people are doing yoga. This is a physical training. In the beginning, you cannot put your feet on the shoulder, but it happens for those people who can do it. Why? Because they train to do that every day. Now, if we do our salat, maybe today we have 5% khushu. Tomorrow we can increase it to become 7, and then 10%, 20%, until one day possibly 50%. That when you say Allahu Akbar, 50% of your salat is remembering Allah, and 50% is remembering something else. But it's not easy. But the point is, if you want to be successful as a believer, you have to have khushu in the salat. Because this is the real connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. By the way, the meaning of salat is connection.
We'll take a break. We'll come shortly. Dear viewers, you're watching Vision for Success. We'll be back shortly. Stay with us. Dear viewers, welcome back. You are watching Vision for Success. Here with us, Imam Shamsi Ali, Director, Jamaica Muslim Center. Yes, brother, we are discussing about...
Yes, and the second characteristics of successful believer is وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ عَنِ اللَّغْوِ مُعْرِضُونَ. Those who are turning away from useless talk. The Holy Quran describe the talk that may lead us into sin is useless. If useless talk can lead us into miserable, why? How about the sinner? How about the sinful talk? When I come with some friends and I just talk without thinking about the meaning, without thinking about the purpose, what does it mean? Sometimes it can be useless. That talk itself is a key for us to be sinful. And that's why it's very important for the believers to control his or her tongue. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he says, I guarantee paradise for those who can control his tongue, for their tongue. Because this tongue has no bones. And this tongue can create peace and war. This tongue can create happiness, joy, tranquility, peace. But on the other hand, can create misery and suffering for other people. This tongue can give life to someone, but can kill also someone. Because you can kill someone else without stabbing using knife. Just stab it using your tongue. So this tongue is a very dangerous tool that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us. And that's why there is an ayah in the Holy Quran saying, وَلِسَانًا وَشَفَتَيْن. These are tools of speech. Our lisan and our lips. These are the tools of speech. That our words can kill and can give life at the same time. And that's why the successful believer must control their tongue. When you say something, we have to take into consideration, we have to remember that every uttered word, every word that comes out from our mouth is a point of responsibility in the day of judgment. ما لديه إلا رقيب عتيد. ما يلفظ من قول إلا لديه رقيب عتيد. That no word come out from our mouth except there are two angels writing. When you have good words, dhikr, praising others, making others happy, then the angels on the right side is writing down, recording it for you. But the moment you say some fitna, you are lying to other people, the angel on the left side is also recording. So the second characteristics of a successful believer, that the believer who can control his or her tongue. He will use his tongue just for good. Man kana yu'minu billahi wal yawmil akhir falyaqul khayran aw liyasmut. If you do believe in Allah and the last day, then say good word or just keep quiet. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he did not talk too much. But when he talked, every single word that comes out from his mouth is beneficial. Even when he was joking, he used to joke as well. And I'm remembering this one incident that happened. There is an old lady came to him, and she asked him, "O Prophet of Allah, do you think I can enter into Jannah, into paradise?" The Prophet looked at her and said to her, "No old lady like you will enter into Jannah." This is a joke, but she was sad because she took it very seriously. She left and crying. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was laughing and called her back, and she said, "What happened to you?" She said, "I'm not going to enter into Jannah." Prophet Muhammad ﷺ laughed and said to her, No, no lady like yourself in Jannah, because every lady will enter young. It will turn young again. And that is the joke of Rasulullah. So even when he joked, there is a benefit. This lady is learning that, mashallah, I'm going to be young again. She is happy, of course. So Prophet Muhammad ﷺ controlled his tongue. Every single word came out from his mouth is a matter of teaching. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ.
But if you control, if I control my tongue, and if I don't respond to other people, people consider me as a weak person, and if I don't, we are reacting in every moment.
Not necessarily. Sometimes silence is strength. You know, sometimes being quiet is a strength. And that is, out there is called protest by silence. Okay, you have the right to be silenced. When the security person comes to you and tries to intimidate you, you have the right to be silent. So sometimes silence is strength. And the Holy Quran, for example, commanded Maryam alayhi salatu wasalam when she delivered Isa. You know, she was so worried because the people will accuse her, a person who committed adultery, a lady that committed adultery. And all people consider themselves very religious. So you can imagine this young lady came to her people and showing the girl, the baby. The people will say, "You are the person who committed adultery, you must be punished." So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to her, if the people ask you about your baby, just tell them you are sa'im, you are fasting. And the meaning of fasting here is don't talk. It means keep silent. It means you are powerful, you are stronger. Because by talking to them, by arguing with them, it's just making you more down. And it is a point of weakness. So sometimes being silent is being strong. And that's why in Islam say, man فَلْيَقُلْ خَيْرًا أَوْ لِيَصْمُتْ. Just say good, and if you don't have anything good to say, just keep silent. That's what hadith says. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam reminded the companions, the Sahaba, and the believers that if you don't have anything to say good, just keep silent, just be quiet. Okay, this is number 2 basically. Number 3, of course, the Holy Quran also says that those who can guard their chastity. You know, one of the most fragile thing that we have in life in this modern time, especially as the media expose everything, is about protecting our own honor and chastity. And we are very much tempted by sexual explosion in our society. Everything being exploited, being exposed, and particularly our young people. But you know, Islam had come and teaches what to do. Lower your sight, taking care of what you read, what you see, what do you think about the greatness of Allah. behave with the opposite sexes in a proper manner, or protect the hijab issues, where men and women should cover themselves properly. Even when you talk to one another, male and female, there are proper adab, etiquette to follow. For example, the women are not allowed to talk in a way that can make men misunderstand. You know, she can talk in a way that she can, but there are certain ways that men can be affected. The Holy Quran reminded the woman, don't talk in that way. So soft, looks like temptation. It's reminded in the Holy Quran. So the Holy Quran says that if you want to be considered a successful believer, that you have to protect your chastity. Anything that can lead you into this, violating the chastity, falling into the fahisha, what you call fahisha, the relations, improper relations between male and female, then you have to take care of it, because this is one of the key of
We have
success.
to take another break. Dear viewers, you are watching Vision for Success. We are taking another break. Stay with us. Dear viewers, welcome back. You are watching Vision for Success. Here with us, Imam Shamsi Ali. Yes, brother. We are talking about the characteristics
Yes.
that we did.
And of course, the next one is وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ لِأَمَانَاتِهِمْ وَعَهْدِهِمْ رَاعُونَ. Those who take care of their trust and fulfill their promises. You know, before talking about this, I would like to say that if you count the characteristics of the believers here in the beginning of Surah Al-Mu'minun, there are more social issues than ritual issues. The ritual issue is only about salat and zakat, but all others is about social issues. Even zakat also, it's concerning also social issues. So it means that Islam pays too much attention to our social life, and sometimes we are not concerned about it. We are concerned about prayer, but we are not concerned about poor people. You know, we are praying too much, but we're not trying to develop economic power so that we can help our brothers and sisters. That is the wrong way of understanding the religion. So the next one is talking about one of the important issue that many Muslims are ignorant of. They don't take care of it. And that is about trust, amanat, and promises. Trust, look at to the Muslim land, for example, to the Muslim countries. One of the most dangerous diseases that Muslims have in the Muslim lands is corruption. The governmental corruption.
Most of the Muslim countries.
Corrupt governments. Why? They are abusing their power to corrupt the economic life of the people. They are abusing the people for their own interests. And that is because people don't keep their trust. When they are becoming prime minister, when they become president, when they become king, that is the moment where they are abusing the power for their own personal or family interests. And that's why you see the Muslim government are so rich, so powerful. Look at to the Middle East, the presidents, the kings are so powerful, so rich, but go down to the people and see the people's life. They are so suffering. They are not educated, they are economically disparate, they don't have anything to eat, they don't have clean water to drink, because governments are accumulating wealth for their own interest. And that is because they are corrupting the trust that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given them. In a Muslim's understanding, power is something that can be utilized for good. And we must be powerful. If Allah gives me an opportunity, I want to be president. I want to be a minister. But for me, it is a trust from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and I have to utilize it for good. Okay. Unfortunately, this is one of the most dangerous diseases in the Muslim. And the next one is promises. You know, even when the Muslims say inshallah, sometimes they intend not to fulfill it. Are you coming tomorrow? Inshallah. But in their mind means not coming. And that is a very dangerous contradiction. In one hand, you use the word inshallah, if Allah wills, and you know that you are not coming basically, because you are already have that habit not to fulfill
Inshallah means
promises.
I am promising something.
Inshallah means I'm committed myself to fulfill, if Allah wills. And of course, Allah wills it. Okay. And the last one is, of course, giving zakat. And it is also a must. 2.5% must be given. So when we fulfill all this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promised at the end that those Muslims who are successful, ulaika humul warithun, they are the inheritors of the paradise. And the word warithun is very strong. Inheritance means something that you have to give it. When you die, for example, your kids inherit from you. No one can intervene. That is religiously mandated to receive it. And that's why Jannat is an inheritance for those who are successful believers.
Brother, what is your advice today for our viewers?
I just wanted to say that, number one, Muslims must be successful. Number two, our success includes both dunya and akhirah. Number three, when you talk about success in the religion, you have to deal not only our rituals, but also our social issues. In fact, the beginning of Surah Al-Mu'minun is mostly dealing with social issues. It's about how to talk, it's about how to fulfill promise, how to take care of trust, and so on and so forth. These are some advice, inshallah, for today.
Thank you very much, Brother Shamsi Ali, being with us here. Inshallah, we'll see you tomorrow. দর্শক, সফলতার কোনো শর্টকাট পথ নেই। সফলতার জন্য অপরিহার্য হচ্ছে সাকসেসফুল বিলিভার্সের বৈশিষ্ট্যগুলো জেনে নেওয়া। অপরিহার্য হচ্ছে ভিশন। প্রতিটি সফলতার পেছনে রয়েছে একটি ভিশনারি উদ্যোগ। ভিশনারি উদ্যোক্তারাই বদলে দিতে পারেন সমাজ, অর্থনীতি ও কর্মসংস্থানের চেহারা, হতে পারেন অন্যের জন্য প্রেরণার উৎস। ভিশন, আত্মবিশ্বাস, পরিশ্রম এবং ধারাবাহিক চেষ্টা এনে দিতে পারে সাফল্য। আসুন সফলতার জন্য সেভাবেই চেষ্টা করি। হতাশার কথা নয়, নতুন প্রজন্মকে ভিশনারি উদ্যোক্তা হতে এবং ইতিবাচক ভাবতে শেখাই। অনুষ্ঠান সম্পর্কে আপনার মতামত ও পরামর্শ লিখুন visionforsuccessusa@gmail.com। অনুষ্ঠানটি প্রচারিত হবে প্রতিদিন রাত ৯টায়, পুনঃপ্রচার সকাল ৯টায় এবং দুপুর ২টা ৩০ মিনিটে। আসসালামু আলাইকুম।